Today we live in an armed peace, the peace of the naked sword, pointed at a potential enemy, as his points at us. Nobody seeks this ultimate trial of strength, knowing it will be the last. It's the peace of what we call the deterrent. In Britain, two kinds of machine carry the deterrent. One of them is this, the Vulcan bomber. In a demonstration shown to the Prime Minister, it took 4 big Victor jet bombers less than 5 minutes from the alarm until the last bomber was away. These bombers form part of the celebrated V force of Valiants, Vulcans and Victors, all capable of carrying the deterrent and launching it if ever the fatal signal were given. The training of our V-Force crews is enormously specialized, and the accent is not so much on youth as on experience. To captain these crews, a pilot must have flown at least 1,800 hours as first pilot. Many of them are war veterans. The servicing of these bombers is vastly complex. Special equipment has a habit of breeding special equipment. There's enough wiring inside these bombers to light a small town, enough sheet metal to cover a couple of football pitches, nearly 10,000 feet of tubing, and it all costs money. But it's wrong to imagine, the experts say, that these manned aircraft are doomed to be replaced by rockets, as far anyway as we can see into the future. Supersonic bombers have several advantages over the rockets now installed along Britain's east coast. Today's methods of missile detection should give enough warning for a large part of our V-force to get off the ground in time, each carrying a guided nuclear missile. The warning, say the experts, should be somewhat longer than the 4 minutes recently forecast, but perhaps not all that much longer.
Attention, attention, attention. This is an operations alert. Scramble, scramble, scramble.
Britain has good reason for relying on these young men and the bombers they man for quite a while to come. They can get their craft into the air quicker than the rockets can be launched. Fixed rocket sites may be more vulnerable because of the natural reluctance to launch these missiles merely on a radar warning. Bombers, on the other hand, can be dispersed, and they take off on the radar warning itself. Their vital usefulness is this. Once airborne, a manned aircraft is still not committed to retaliating until it's certain that enemy missiles are on the way. And so they reduce the very real danger of a modern missile war starting on a false alarm. In these practice scrambles, which keep the country's top crews trained to a hair, the huge delta-winged Vulcans maneuver with the daintiness and dash of fighters. The look-at-life cameras were not allowed to see the thing this plane is designed to carry somewhere inside that mighty train. We only know it can destroy as much in one explosion as the entire Allied air forces accomplished in the 6 years of the Second World War. We can't look inside that Vulcan anyway, so secret is its equipment. With their search radar, 4 V-Force bombers can map an area the size of the United States in one sortie. It's the RAF's proud boast that the new V aircraft rival any comparable planes in the world today with their performance, secret as this is. But the era of the rocket and the grim realities it poses are with us too. Side by side with the V-Force, and complementary to it, is a new weapon, shrouded behind barbed wire, its personnel checked and counter-checked. In a place patrolled by dogs, enveloped in a fantastic security screen, it is this, the Thor rocket. Within 2 years of signing an agreement with the United States, Britain has put the Thor into operational use as an integral part of our deterrent force. Its range, 1,700 miles. Its recent testing record shows an impressive reliability as rockets go. It's 65 feet long, 8 feet thick, and its skin is little thicker than your fingernail. The warhead, the machinery which guides it, and the motor that propels it take up only a fraction of its interior space. The rest is for fuel, paraffin, and liquid oxygen. This tank is built like a big vacuum flask to keep its store of liquid oxygen cool. 197 degrees below zero. Even at that temperature, inside there, it is gently boiling and caking its pipes and valve gear with a dense ice crust. Safety precautions on a rocket base are as intense as the security. Apart from the stringent checks on rocket parts, which are carried out on elaborate machines like this, the greatest care has to be taken in handling the rocket fuel. You would be very unwise to use any tool containing iron or even wear steel studs in your shoes. Intense cleanliness is the rule, above all, where the liquid oxygen is stored. Those rooms are pressurized to keep dust from entering. Watch that little paper fringe above the door. If that blows out, no dust can blow in. Safety precautions won't even allow a single dust speck, an oil smudge, or even a fingerprint. Ultraviolet detectors are used on canisters like these, or on any equipment in contact with the fuel, to show up the tiniest trace of grime. No more vital function was ever clothed in sleeker lines than these which now show against an English sky. Few pretend that their virtues in preventing war can compare with, say, universal disarmament. Yet, in a strange way, this rocket may be pointing the way to that. For the hope of this generation and those yet unborn is that the rocket will never be launched. If the day comes when the supports are lowered and the button is pressed, civilization, as we know it, will perish from the earth. The end of that journey into the sky is annihilation. Once the rocket has gone, we can never call it back.